commitment to our reporters is really all about. I want to take you now to another one of our reporters, Nolan Pinto, who is on the road right now because we're trying to figure where Mr. Yediyurappa is headed to. After the Vidhan Saudha, Nolan, we wanted to know whether he was going to be going home and then coming to the Raj Bhavan. He went to the Raj Bhavan. Where is he headed now? What's next on his agenda today?
Well, Shiv, that is what we all initially assumed, that from the Vidhan Saudha he would actually head home, have lunch and then come to the Raj Bhavan in the evening. But that did not happen. He immediately went. We have also heard what he now stated, that he would work hard to bring the BJP back into power. And he's also made a very clear statement that he's not interested in any governor's post, but rather would want to work as a proper cadre. As of now, our sources, we are trying to follow. We are stuck over here because when the CM is actually moving. But what we are told is that as of now, as a former chief minister, he will still proceed towards the official residence of the CM, that is Kaveri. Thereafter, we have to figure out what really will happen throughout the day. He might just have meetings with his cabinet, his ex-cabinet colleagues. They too are along with him, Shiv. So we have to see how things pan out. But the information that we're also getting is that there might be an observer from Delhi, from the High Command, who will be sent. The person could actually come this evening or tomorrow morning, and a BJP legislative party will be held. So these are the things that will proceed henceforth. In the next few hours, we will get more details, Shiv, on what's the next step that the BJP in this state is planning.
Well, continue to stay with me. Live pictures as Mr. Yediyurappa makes his way from the Raj Bhavan, expected to be headed to his residence. He has just given out a categorical declaration that he will not be leaving the BJP under any circumstances. He will be working with the party. He's nearing 80, so he's a senior leader right now, and obviously a younger person will be replacing him as the chief minister. Whether that person will be from the Lingayat community or not is not known at this point of time. What we do know is that Mr. Yediyurappa had an emotional ceremonial exit. I want to play out for you Mr. Yediyurappa breaking down on stage at the Vidhan Saudha as he made his farewell speech. Take a look at this small excerpt.
I am grateful to Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and also Home Minister Amit Shah ji and All India President Nadda ji has given opportunity to serve as people of Karnataka for 2 years as Chief Minister.
ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ 75 ವರ್ಷ ದಾಟಿದ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಂದುವರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ನಡ್ಡಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಶಬ್ದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಬಹುದು.
Okay, Nabila and Nolan continue to be with us in Bengaluru. An emotional Yediyurappa has spoken in the Vidhan Saudha. He's also spoken to journalists addressing this brief press conference outside the Raj Bhavan after tendering his resignation. He is now formally the ex-chief minister, former chief minister of Karnataka. Big question continues to remain who the next chief minister of Karnataka will be. There is also a question of what happens with Mr. Yediyurappa's family. One of his sons is a BJP MP. The other son is a part of the Karnataka BJP. So it's a family that's already steeped in politics. But what next for B.S. Yediyurappa himself? Let's just look at some scenarios that could possibly play out, because this is a man who may be nearing 80, but is clearly not out of any political energy just yet. So what next for Mr. Yediyurappa? Could be rehabilitated as a governor. There could be some kind of central leadership role for him, or a huge role within the Karnataka BJP, even though that would be a bit of a step down. But when you have been a popular chief minister, it's difficult to actually exceed that within the state itself. He could be the BJP's face for other South Indian states. This could be a retirement from politics as part of a legacy issue, and his sons may be pushed as far as elevation efforts within the BJP are concerned. So multiple possibilities as far as Mr. Yediyurappa's next steps are concerned. He's had a long innings in Karnataka politics, so it's going to be difficult to pull the curtains down on it with simply a resignation as the chief minister. Now, I want to bring in Nabila and Nolan who've been with us. Right before I go to them, because there are 2 points in Bengaluru right now, both the Vidhan Sauda as well as on the road tracking Mr. Yediyurappa. But just take a look at the chief ministerial jinxes that have, sort of haunted Yediyurappa throughout his career as chief minister. It's called the chief minister's jinx. In 2007, Yediyurappa was chief minister for just 8 days. In 2008, he was chief minister for 3 years, didn't complete his tenure. In 2018, he was chief minister for 3 days. I was in Bengaluru at that time, right after the election. Just 3 days he was. And in 2019, became chief minister again and has finished with only 2 years on his belt. So Mr. Yediyurappa has effectively been chief minister in 2007, 2008, 2018 and 2019 on 4 separate occasions, but has never completed a 5-year tenure. Nabila, that's really interesting and kind of illustrates the kind of upheaval that has marked Yediyurappa's multiple chief ministerships, that he's never been able to complete 5 years. In 2018, he came closest with 3 years. This time, 2008, he came closest with 3 years.
Absolutely, and he's been mired on several allegations of corruption that he's been mired in time and again, which has got him down. This time would have been his possibility for him to actually complete a full term, but that too wouldn't have been possible. Even if Yediyurappa completed his tenure until 2023, it would still mean he completed 4 years, because after the first 18 months, it was the Congress and the JDS coalition. So it is bad luck in terms of completing an entire term. It appears that so far Siddaramaiah in the opposition leader, the leader of the opposition as Chief Minister of Karnataka, has been the only Chief Minister who's been able to complete the full 5-year term in the recent past. So, but for Yediyurappa, let me tell you, Shiv, not all is over. In fact, like you did mention, he is looking for a strong position for his son Vijayendra and Raghavendra. And speaking of Vijayendra, he's played an integral role here in Karnataka. He's moved out of the shadow of his father. In fact, it was very difficult to win the KR-Pete as well as the Sira constituency, which was the bastion of the Congress party, but he managed to win that, and that really bolstered his position in the state of Karnataka. In fact, Vijayendra, remember, was denied ticket in 2018. He was, in fact, campaigning in Varuna constituency. Siddaramaiah's son, Yatindra, was also given a ticket from the Congress party, but the BJP High Command denied the ticket to Vijayendra, saying that they do not believe in dynasty politics. So, Vijayendra has proven his merit. He's come up the ranks with sheer hard work, and that is no doubt. He's worked really hard in the KR-Pete and the Sira constituency to bring it to victory after decades of being an opposition's bastion. So Vijayendra does hold a really strong position. It appears that the BJP High Command is also really looking at securing his position here as an exit pact for B.S. Yediyurappa as per his requests or demands.
Okay,
so even for that matter, his brother.
Yeah. The exit pact is, you've put it well, Nabila. What is that exit pact? What are the terms and conditions and the modalities of that exit pact? I'm guessing that they will become more clear in the hours ahead. What exactly has Mr. Yediyurappa been, allowed to do or promised as far as his own career and the careers of his sons is concerned is something that will become clearer. But we've got some breaking news coming in.